Welcome back to Sounds, everyone. We hope you guys have enjoyed the music so far, but for now, we got a little break for a sit-down talk with Chloe herself. Chloe, first off, how do you feel about being on the show?
Honestly, it's been such a cool experience so far. Like, it's really good to always perform live, and I'm honestly excited to be doing this. It seems really cool, and I can't wait to see the final product.
Me neither. Yeah, it's got to be really different playing for cameras compared to playing for people, right?
Right, right. It does. It sounds a little different in this room. Like, I just had a show on Friday, and like I could really hear like every intricate thing I was doing like through my monitors, and like playing in a room and for cameras. It's like one little thing. It's just so noticeable, like to you, but to me, it's like I can barely hear what I'm doing right now. So.
Right. No, it's big. You can't see with the cameras, but this is a very big room. Anyway, so more about your past then, because right now, myself and everyone else here doesn't know anything about you. How long have you been playing music?
Well, my parents are both music educators, so I started off really young, like practically came out of the womb doing music. I started piano when I was 2 years old,
Wow.
and then I started like Suzuki violin when I was 5. But I didn't start really like singing and writing my own music until I learned guitar, which was like give or take first or second grade. So I wrote my like first actual song in elementary school, which I think it was like third grade, fourth grade, and it was called Country Girl, and it is still one of my mother's all-time favorites. She brings it up all the time. I had this like dream of being a cowgirl and riding the horses in yonder. But
Yeah. Hey,
nothing like my vibe now.
that's a baller description, though. You know, I'm a little bit disappointed you didn't include it in the set list.
I should have. I really should have. Mom
Oh
would have
man,
been
sounds
really
like
happy about that.
sounds like you got a really young start, and that's great. I didn't learn any instrument until I was at least out of elementary school,
Uh,
so a little behind on that front. But piano at 2, how did
Yeah.
that work? Could you even reach any of the keys?
so yeah, my mom, we have these little like piano books, set of piano books. They're called the Mozart Mouse series, and they are really like a slow learning for piano. So it like starts with just like numbers and like focusing on the black keys, and basically as soon as I could start talking, my mom was like, "Get on a piano, girl," and that's when they found out that I had perfect pitch. So.
Wow.
I had this Christmas Elmo when I was like 2.5 years old that sang up on the housetop, and I would bring it to the piano with me, and I sat down and I pressed the push here thing, and it would go up on the housetop, bah, bah, bah. And I started playing on the piano at 2. Bum, 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 bum. My parents were like, "What is going on? Like, what is this kid doing?" So
That's impressive.
yeah.
Um, so what really got you into like writing and playing your own songs? You said it was pretty young, like when you were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Was there a thought process behind it, or was it just I have a new instrument, got to play some new songs?
Yeah, I've always like had a passion and honor for people who could write music. Like ever since I was growing up, like I would always listen to the radio and listen to pop music, and I'd be like, wow, like imagine if I could do that someday. And when I finally learned like 4 chords on the guitar, I was like, this is my time to shine.
Now
So
you can play every song.
now I can literally play every song. Yeah, so I started experimenting around and just found out what works for me. And yeah, I mean, my inspiration to start writing, right now, my inspiration to write all comes from my emotions and how I'm feeling. I have a lot of like writer's block and trouble writing if I'm just trying to like, oh, I need to get a new song out, I need to write something new. Like all of my songs are just so genuine and are often off of real experiences that are happening in my life, which is why some of the songs tonight were pretty sad. But it's just like I feel an emotion, and then I'm like, I have to write about it. And I guess as a kid, I was thinking Country Girl had to be the thing. So I guess that has stayed consistent throughout.
Yeah, there you go. There's a little centerpiece for you there. But
Right.
yeah, I was getting some of that in the back too. Like, it's all very genuine. You know, you can't force that. It's really sincere songwriting, which you got to
Thank you.
respect. You know.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
But yeah. So do you have a typical process that you do for writing one of your songs, or does it just come to you whenever you feel that?
Yeah, there is sort of a process, but usually it's a really quick process. Like usually when people write songs, it's like, oh, this took me like months to write, or this took me years. Like I write songs in a matter of minutes. It's literally I feel anger, I feel sadness, or I feel like happiness or love or something, and I'm like, wow, I need to get this out of my brain and like onto my guitar, onto my notes app, my phone. So that is what happens. I whip out my phone to my notes app and I just start typing away exactly like what I'm feeling with no indication of rhyming, no indication of reason. I just start typing away, and then I will see all these lines that are like, for example, like my song Honey Lovin', like the first thing is that like my mind was just filled with running thoughts about a guy. And then I was like, okay, my mind is filled with running thoughts about a boy who has me in a knot. And then I'm just like, I start rhyming all the things that I'm writing down. And then after I have my lyrics down, I'll usually fiddle around on my guitar with some chords and come up with a melody of some sort, and then just bam, put it all together. Or I'll start singing gibberish too, is another big thing I do. Like I'll literally be like, about a boy's got, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's a song.
Just gotta jam it out first.
Right, exactly.
You know, do you ever have like melodies with no lyrics or lyrics with no melody?
Yes, there are a ton of those, and it's so annoying sometimes when I have like a really good melody where I'm like, gosh, like if I could just write the dang song, like this would be amazing. Or if I have these great lyrics, I'm just like, I don't know what could go. What could sound good with this?
At that point, just match them up randomly.
Right.
Do like a remix where you take one of your like regular songs and put some new lyrics over that.
Yeah. I've actually considered doing that many times if I've like fallen in and out of lyrics that I've written. But
yeah, I mean it's whatever works, you know.
Yeah.
If it makes a cool song, the ends justify the means, in my opinion.
Right.
Obviously, there's a limit to that, but I don't think you're gonna run into that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like most of your songwriting comes from yourself. Do you have any like influences, whether in your writing or your performing? Who are the artists that you look up to the most?
Yeah, so this is kind of crazy because most of the music that I like to listen to is not the type I brew. So I don't really listen to any. I mean, okay, this is kind of a lie, but I don't really like bump and like listen to indie and like pop music, which I would kind of categorize myself as. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
Indie is a genre that's hard to bump. You know,
right.
You can't exactly in the basement at a party put on Sufjan Stevens.
Right, exactly. But I mean, I do love rap music, which is it has nothing to do with like what I write. Like I could never imagine myself like taking rap seriously. But I do really like adore Still Boozy, who is like a bedroom pop artist, but it's so like overly produced and like intricate that like I don't think I could ever produce something like that. I know nothing about the producer side of music. I know everything about like the performing side of music. So
right, yeah.
It's about finding somebody who can do that for me, you know, would be great.
No, I get it completely. I am the same way. Right, I play trumpet, right? Not
Sure.
to out myself as a band kid, but I am in the BNB. So for a long time, I was only familiar with the performer side too. And then I came here, and we got an audio mixer back there. And I don't know about you, but I thought that thing was scary.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, I don't know what any of this is. It looks like the control panel on a plane.
Right.
But I'm getting myself acquainted with that a little more.
That's good.
It's a learning curve. But yeah. That's good to hear. You know, I think it's great to have an eclectic taste, because then you can take influences from anywhere. Like,
right.
Yeah. Is there anything like any other genres that you kind of take inspiration from?
Yeah, I really do like jazz music. My dad is an amazing jazz musician, and when he was in his earlier stages, he toured all over the world in the Glenn Miller Orchestra and the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra and jazz music. I've grown up around jazz music, so I do really love jazz, but I would say that my voice has more of an influence on jazz with like my running and like my scatting that I do when I sing, but I don't know if I would say my music is not necessarily like jazz. Like I'm talking big band jazz. I like
Right.
not like the weird.
It is hard to accomplish that with one guitar.
Right, exactly. But yeah, no, I do really love jazz music. So I would say that my voice, I try to go for more of like a jazzy, like airy,
Yeah,
raspier.
almost like a. I forgot the name. My bad.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
that kind of throws it off. But anyway, yeah, no, jazz is a personal favorite genre of mine. I got a lot of respect for taking inspiration from that, especially considering like indie like pop and folk. It's pretty different from jazz, honestly. Different instrumentation, different style, but it is great that you managed to take Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald. That
Of course, you forgot Ella Fitzgerald.
I'm not good with names.
Oh, hopefully you didn't forget mine.
I didn't. Chloe Sawall.
Oh.
It would have been funny, though.
That would have been funny.
It would have been funny. But no, yeah, it is great that you managed to get like inspiration from a lot of different ways. It makes it more unique, you know. Everyone is the
Right.
sum of their influences,
Yeah.
which means that, you know, the wider influences you have, like the more you can stand out.
Yeah. The
In my
more you
opinion,
can
at least.
create. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
think above all that's the moral of the story. Listen to a lot of music. Listen to all the music. Every single song.
Right.
All of it.
Yes.
That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, it is.
And now we get to the best part of the show, and that's where you get to plug everything. If
Yeah.
you got any new music coming out or you got any upcoming performances you want people to go to, I'm leaving the floor to you.
Okay. Well, I actually just did 2 features on 2 different albums. One was with the artist Philly with a question mark, and we did a song called Time and Money. And then Ian Connor Music, which he just goes by ICM, he just released an album called The Fairy Tale Suite where I was featured on 2 of the songs on there. So there's 3 new releases for you. I'm currently in the process of writing a new album and also a new EP. It's kind of like some of the songs you heard on my recording tonight are some of the songs on those albums. But yeah, all my social media is under my first and last name. So Chloe Sawall on TikTok. I have a little bit of a following on there, and on YouTube, Chloe Sawall, Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, you name it, it's on there. Chloe Sawall, Instagram, Facebook. You can find me on everything under Chloe Sawall.
Great. Well, yeah. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, of course.
It's been great
yeah.
having you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been such a cool experience, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, for the rest of you out there, I hope you all are looking forward to another set of music from Chloe.